Bank of India, no, absolutely. I have to interrupt you there, Rajat. I request you to hold on and stay with us. Vaidyanathan, CMD Capital First Limited is with us. We're getting reactions very quickly now on a phone line from Mumbai. Mr. Vaidyanathan, thanks very much for joining us. Prashant here. What do you make of the cut and what is your sense? Will this transmission which we've been waiting for finally happen now?
Well, according to me, transmission is already happening because if you see the rates in the marketplace through NCDs, CPs, etc., they're already dipping in the last 1 year or last 6 months or so. It's already dipped by about 100 basis points. So that's happening. But coming back to the original comment of yours as to what we make of this, frankly, none of these things should surprise us anymore. Last time the RBI cut the interest rates by 25 basis points ahead of schedule, or in fact, outside of the policy. So it should not surprise us anymore. I think they're really getting very comfortable with the quality of the fiscal deficit, because this fiscal deficit is going to infrastructure and it's not going into consumption. It's not going to any frivolous welfare schemes. So I think that there is a broad comfort with what the government is doing. The second comment I take from this is that this, after a long time in many years, the RBI and the government are in sync together to address this overall issue of inflation and growth. So I think these two things are, in my mind, very important signals for us.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I completely agree with those 2 points. Our guest from Kolkata before you came on was pointing out this, that compared to earlier statements when they've cut, which used to be data-driven, this one seems to be anticipatory. And the RBI actually in the statement says so much. It says, well, sometimes you've got to anticipate if the data points all point towards a particular policy stance. So in a way, they're trying to front-load cuts to be able to push growth. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I agree in a way, but when you say it's anticipatory, it's not so much of a punt that the RBI is taking. They're not betting very much on the future. They are reasonably confident that the indicators are moving in the direction. So I think RBI is moving from a sense of comfort, from a sense of confidence, and they are not just taking a chance.
No, that's fine, that's fine. But I'm saying that they're not being very data-driven like they have been. They've still been. I'm not saying they've sort of said goodbye to data. That's not the case. I've got the statement here, 2.5-page statement, and there is a portion about data developments. But the majority of this is the fiscal impulses in the budget and what the state governments will do, and the overall emphasis of the government to clean up legacy issues and how that will help. So it's a bit of a leap of faith. Would you agree?
As I said, I agree with that. But as I said again, I am not seeing them taking. It's not like a huge leap of faith. It's quite crystal clear that inflation is coming down. It's crystal clear that the government is headed in the right direction. So I think it's a statement of confidence.
Right. When do we see consumers, viewers of our program and other news channels, people who don't borrow, who don't buy CPs and things, but people who go to the bank and borrow money, when will the benefit accrue to them, according to you, Mr. Vaidyanathan?
I think that when we say that the CP rate and NCD rate have already come down, I think it will soon translate to the consumer, because end of the day there is competition. Secondly, if you notice, as far as bank base rate is concerned, two banks, United Bank of India, Union Bank of India, have already cut the base rate from 10.25% to 10%. Now, they did that in the last policy. My sense was, independent of this policy, such cuts were coming, but certainly, I would say, between 30 days to 60 days, you will certainly see 75% of the banks starting to cut their base rate.
Thanks very much, Mr. Vaidyanathan. Thanks for taking our call, and good talking to you as always. Appreciate it. Sushil Munot is Chairman, Bank of Maharashtra. He's with us here on the phone line.